with great perseverance, not becoming discouraged if there is any delay in the attainment of success. Success is sure for the rigid practitioner. Regarding Bhakti Yoga, Rupa Goswami says, Utsahat Nishayat Dhairyat Tattat Karma Pravartanat Sangatyagat Satorutte Shadbir Bhakti Prasidhati. One can execute the process of Bhakti Yoga successfully with full hearted enthusiasm, perseverance, and determination by following the prescribed duties in the association of devotees and by engaging completely in activities of goodness. As for determination, one should follow the example of the sparrow who lost her eggs in the waves of ocean. The sparrow laid her eggs on the shore of the ocean, but the big ocean carried away the eggs on its waves. The sparrow became very upset and asked the ocean to return her eggs. The ocean did not even consider her appeal, so the sparrow decided to dry up the ocean. She began to pick out the water in her small beak, and everyone laughed at her for her impossible determination. The news of her activity spread, and at last Garuda, the gigantic bird carrier of Lord Vishnu, heard it. He became compassionate toward his small sister bird, and so he came to see the sparrow. Garuda was very pleased by the determination of the small sparrow, and he promised to help. Thus Garuda at once asked the ocean to return her eggs, lest he himself take up the work of the sparrow. The ocean was frightened at this and returned the eggs. Thus the sparrow became happy by the grace of Garuda. Similarly, the practice of yoga, especially bhakti yoga in Krishna consciousness, may appear to be very difficult job. But if anyone follows the principles with great determination, the Lord will sure the Lord will what is the Lord will
You have to take it up, I think so.
surely help, for God helps those who help themselves.
Yeah, so this is the one of the most wonderful purports of Srila Prabhupada, very much applicable for us. So, previous verses we are describing about realizations in perfection. What are the realizations when a person perfects this Ashtanga Yoga? And now, these two verses, 24th and 25th verse, they are describing the methods to attain Yoga Ruda stage. So, how one can attain that stage of highest perfection. So these words are very important. Sa nishchayena yoktavyo. Sa nishchayena means with determination. When determination is required? Okay, to get success in something, determination is required. When things are difficult, then determination is required. Okay, that can be one answer. When things are difficult, determination is required. Any other?
Continue that because obstacles are there. Continue.
To overcome obstacle, determination is required. Because when something has obstacles, if you want to attain something, if there are obstacles, then determination is required. Yes, correct. Any other?
If some process is long, so to go back.
If process is very long, we are not able to see the goal. It's like, if from here, if you have to go to Mount Everest, suppose from Vadgaon, so we are not able to see Mount Everest. So determination is required, isn't it? Correct. Any other answer?
To attain certain goal.
To attain certain goal? Yeah. Unless until goal is known, we have to obtain some goal. If you don't have proper goal, then there is no question of determination. Yeah, to attain a goal, determination is required. Yes.
Prabhuji.
Okay. Yes, Pratik.
Prabhuji, certain times it may be very difficult for all of us to be like maybe very difficult to be very ideal sadhaka, and we may do some mistakes. I mean, like unwantedly, not purposefully. we may do some mistakes, and we may do something which are it may take us like drag us, but so that if determination is there, like if you are strong, then we will continue in those circumstances also, as
Yes.
goal will be clear.
Yes, very nice. So when there is chances of mistakes and discouragement due to those mistakes, so determination is required. Correct. Very nice. There are mistakes, and because of mistakes, there is a discouragement. So that's why determination is required. Yes. And Sushmit, bro?
When we know that we cannot do the work on our own, we require
Ah. When we know that we cannot do the things on our own, but we require higher help. It's beyond me. It's beyond my capacity. Then determination is also required. And also, when there are chances of deviation, then determination is. Akshay, bro, you are saying something? Akshay, bro? Okay. So when there are chances of deviation, yeah, we are not able to hear you as such, Akshay, bro. If you want, you may type on the chat if you are speaking something. Okay. So when there are chances of deviation, we may go astray, or there are allurements. Of course, they are as good as obstacles. So then determination is required. So, but what is a prerequisite for determination? The prerequisite for determination is faith. Without faith, there cannot be any determination. Unless until we have faith that I have to go to Mount Everest. We believe that that is the thing which I want to do in my life. We cannot have determination to do it, right? The determination without faith is always very weak. So, if we believe neither in the goal, that is sadhya, nor in the method sadhana to achieve that goal, then how is it possible to be determined? Either the faith should be there, either we should have faith on the goal, or we should have faith on sadhana. Then only we can have determination. And this is not only for Ashtanga Yogi, this is for everyone. So that faith is required, that what I will, this process will surely award success. Success is sure. That faith is required. So as Prabhupada writes also in this, that success is guaranteed for the rigid practitioner. So success is there. We should not have doubt on that. And another one, I think one of you also said that when the result is not quickly achieved, then determination is really required, isn't it? Especially for Ashtanga Yoga, it is very difficult to obtain result, isn't it? But maybe for Bhakti Yoga, the result starts manifesting from beginning, but still that promised result doesn't come. Wherein every walk is dance, and every drop of water is nectar, and every speech is song. That result is, and we are, Nayanam Galadashrudharaya, Udanam Gadagadarudaya. That result doesn't manifest immediately. So for that, we have to be able determined. So that's why this role of determination is very great in spiritual practices. And determination leads to enthusiasm. Determination naturally leads to enthusiasm. To go beyond. And with enthusiasm, one can accomplish, with determination and enthusiasm, we can accomplish anything which is not ordinarily possible. And Prabhupada gives the example of that sparrow, right? That sparrow, even if, she was with her beak, could she have really dried up the ocean in the entirety of her life? It was impossible, isn't it? But she had that enthusiasm and determination. And seeing that, she accessed the mercy of Garudev. And that's how she could accomplish something which was totally beyond her. Similarly, when we have that faith and determination and enthusiasm, then one can accomplish something which is beyond us, which is not ordinarily possible for us. Sometimes we may ask that, Prabhu, I have this limitation, that limitations, but all these limitations are only there present unless until we have enthusiasm and determination. That utsaha, nishchaya, dharya. These three things, if you don't have, then all these things will come into picture. What is my nature? What is this I can do, this I cannot do, all that. But the real, if we really have determination, faith, and enthusiasm, then we can accomplish anything. That's why Prabhupada would say that impossible is the word in fool's dictionary. Prabhupada would say. Why? Because that's the science. With faith and enthusiasm and determination, one can accomplish anything. So, and also, especially for a spiritual practitioner, one type of patience is also required in terms of that not always the spiritual success may come immediately. Fruits may not come immediately. Sometimes it takes lifetimes to come, and one should have that patience and faith even for lifetimes. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, Mama Janmani Janmani Shware Bhavatad Bhakti. He is not telling this life only. Next life also all right. Whenever you want, Lord, you give me perfection. But I am ready to practice devotional service life after life. Not that, hey, abhi 2-4 saal mein kuch hua nahi, chodo, this process doesn't work. Not that way. So, so yogi, what is his thought process? Even if I do not achieve perfection in this life, I must continue. I must continue. So Raisham Pro says that even if I don't go back to Godhead in this life, I am happy if I am born amongst association of devotees next life. If I could get association of devotees, if I get to study scriptures, if I get to practice devotional service, Raisham Pro says I am more than happy. Even if I don't go back to Godhead in this life, no problem, he said at all. So for Ashtanga Yogi, that is so difficult, but for Bhakti Yogi, the process itself is so joyful also. So even if he doesn't attain the goal, still the process itself will give him sufficient joy, isn't it? So that is the mercy of Bhakti. That in Bhakti, the process of this ninefold processes, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, those are all things are themselves so joyful that even if one doesn't go back to God, still one can experience joy within this world. That's the greatest beauty. So that's why a devotee can have this determination that even if I do not achieve perfection in this life, I must continue. He should not be discouraged and say, oh, this is taking so long. How long is it going to take? I can't wait for such a long time. So especially modern people are very impatient by nature. They cannot have patience, isn't it? We often get frustrated with our laptop also. If it takes 5 more minutes to open up, we become so frustrated with this laptop and we want to feel like banging it. So patience is not there, isn't it? And same thing we apply with people also. We don't want to have patience. And what to speak of with the Lord. So but patience is very required. In fact, at one place, Prabhupada says patience is the symptom of surrender. Patience is the symptom of surrender. So, devotee's determination is that whatever it happens, I will continue. I am not want to give up. So, and also we cannot be successful without blessings. That is there. So, but for getting blessings, these things are required. So in this world, that's why actually we have to, it is said that's why we should look for inspiration from many people. So we see there was one video I had seen, never give up. Name was there of that video. Okay, that is one. This is not a devotee video. There was one video, one fellow, he neither has hands nor he has legs. He neither have both of these things. And if you see that video, my God, he's amazingly doing everything. He's typing on computer, he's swimming also with the help of tire, and he's doing so many activities. He doesn't have hands and legs, and that conclusion was that never give up. So whatever situation comes in your life, that's what that teacher who was telling us, that we should not give up, because there is, always hope in life. One should be always hopeful. So Rupa Goswami terms that as Asha Baddha. Devotee means he should be Asha Baddha. He should be hoping against hope. So, this purport is, that's why, very important. So where Prabhupada is mentioning about importance of patience and determination, and without deviation, one should not deviate, one should remain on the path. And faith means we should be confident and pursue with the great perseverance. This word you have heard, perseverance. In Marathi we translate it as chikati. I don't know Hindi what is perseverance. लगन लगन के साथ सेवा करनी चाहिए. So that perseverance is required, because there will be obstacles, there will be issues, there will be problems, there will be mind troubling, there will be temptations from Maya, all these things will come. But one should still continue. That is called as perseverance. Drudta. Yeah. Drudta is more or less determination, but yeah, still perseverance, determination are quite synonymous. Then one should control the senses with the help of one's mind. And one should give up all the desires born of mental concoction. So in this way, a devotee should continue. So Prabhupada is saying that we should be sure of success at the end. We should be sure of the success at the end. And Prabhupada is also saying that God help those who help themselves. So what is our part? Our part is to be Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. This is our part. And what is Krishna's part? Blessings. So both are required. It is not that we simply say that, oh, if Krishna wishes, it will happen. If Krishna blesses, yes, but from our side, we should have these three things. Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. We should be very enthusiastically practicing devotional service. We should be determined to do so. And we should also be patient, patiently waiting for Lord's mercy to come. Just like this Chataka bird, he's so determined, isn't it? Although there may be so many, he may be even starving, but he never compromises, and he just wants the water coming from the clouds. He will never drink water from the ponds or rivers or anything like that. So that's a determination. So also, pratyahara means it mutually will cease sense activities. So Prabhupada is saying here, one should be sure of success at the end and pursue this course with great perseverance, not becoming discouraged even if there is any delay in attainment of success. So even if there is some delay, one should not feel discouraged about it. One should go on. And success is sure for the rigid practitioner, Prabhupada is saying. So one who rigidly practices. So what is our part is that we have to become rigid practitioners, and we have to improve in that sense. And we should not worry when that Krishna Prem is going to come and all that. Not like that. We should be, more. We should see that how rigidly I am practicing, how sincerely I am practicing, and I should improve myself in my practice. I should chant better. I should study better. I should preach better. I should serve better. So that is our part we do, and then we leave things on Krishna to do his part. What is his part? God help those who help themselves. So if we, in this way, if we practice our Krishna consciousness enthusiastically and sincerely, Krishna will surely help. There is no doubt about it. Lord will help us. So we have to worry about our part and not keep worrying about others' part. We should not worry about God's part. Okay, Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu is asking question. As you mentioned that patience is required, is it about having patience all walks of life, or is it only about spiritual perfection in spiritual life? Yeah, everywhere some patience is required, more or less. These principles apply even to material life also, Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. But it is all the more applicable in spiritual life. Like that. But yeah, it is not that immediately the success can come. Everywhere some patience is required. Yeah.
Like when we read this verse, a materialist person may become inspired to achieve material achievements. So like, what is the thing which distinguishing this verse, the purport of this verse means devotee should get inspired to do this sadhana or spiritual practices.
Hmm. So Shweta is asking that if we read this verse, even a materialistic person will be inspired to do materialistic activities. Um, so what's the difference? Yeah, as such, that's why I said that is applies even to material life. All these things. But ultimately, you know, uh, uh, what is that? व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि एक बहुशाखा हि अनंताश्च बुद्धयो अव्यवसायिनाम. One who is not determined, his intelligence will be multi-branched. भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया अपहृत चेतसा व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि समाधौ न विधीयते. So the so-called intelligence, determination and patience and enthusiasm of a person, materialistic person, it is a futile attempt. Because it's like, in the desert, you may be very determined to get water, and run after that mirage, but ultimately it is mirage. So what we are talking here is about real thing, about water, not about mirage. So being enthusiastic, patient and determined for mirage is not an intelligent thing. Right? But one should be enthusiastic, determined and patient for water, not for mirage. You know? So suppose somebody comes and tells you, if you are running in a desert, somebody tells you go in this direction, you go 10 kilometers, you will get reservoir of water. So we are, having enthusiasm, patience and all that for that. That is something proper, right? But in between, if we see some mirage and we say, oh, anyways, patience, enthusiasm and determination is required, so I'll run after mirage. And one day I'll surely get water. No, it doesn't work. So same thing, the material happiness is actually simply like a mirage in this world. It is not, cannot be achieved. We may attain material success, but material happiness cannot be achieved. There may be success, there may be something, but and if devotee uses it for Krishna's service, this is all right. That is no problem. But if one thinks that simply by being determined, you know, so many times people say, so sir, you are attending some spiritual program. What benefit you got? Yes, I got determined to study now. I got determined to uh, crack the UPSC MPSC exams. That is the goal. So he has missed the knowledge. He is not doing it in proper knowledge. That's not the goal of yoga practice or spiritual practices. So so that I would say it's like running after mirage only. It's like that. So that's why we should apply these tools for a right goal, not for something illusory goals. Does that answer your question? Okay, maybe one more verse will take. 25th verse. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. शनै शनैर् उपरमेत्
शनिरुपरमेत्
बुद्ध्या धृतिगृह्यया
ध्याधुति गृहीतया
आत्मसंस्थानं कृत्वा
संस्थामनः कृत्वा
न किञ्चिद् अपि चिन्तयेत्.
न किञ्चिदपि चिन्तयेत्.
Translation: gradually, step by step, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence sustained by full conviction, and thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else. Purport: by proper conviction and intelligence, one should gradually cease sense activities. This is called pratyahar. The mind being controlled by conviction, meditation, and cessation from senses should be situated in trance or samadhi. At that time, there is no longer any danger of being engaged in material conception of life. In other words, although one is involved with matter, as long as the body exists, one should not think about sense gratification. One should think of no pleasure aside from the pleasure of Supreme Self. This state is easily attained by directly practicing Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, so Shanai Shanai means gradually, step by step. Hmm. So that's why bhakti is also gradual process. So we have to, as they say, slow and steady wins the race. That's what they say. So progress in yoga occurs slowly and steadily. We see in our titration experiment, we don't see any immediate result. We may keep on putting drops, from burette into that beaker, but still you will not see any result. But slowly, we will see that things are happening. Hmm. So a yogi cannot expect any instant success. Hmm. So in Marathi there is one saying, "Pi haladni ho gori." So what is the story behind that? There was one Mataji who was black in complexion. So her marriage was not happening because she was black. Generally dark color Mataji थोड़ा tough होता है marriage. So then somebody told her parents that if you give her haldi, then she will become fair. So they immediately started feeding her so much haldi day and night, and they're saying immediately within few days only, within 2-3 days you should become fair. ऐसा थोड़ी होता है बाबा. She has to take it for 1-2 years, then it will happen. Because it's a gradual process. Gradually her face color will change. It's not that within 1-2 days only whole face color is going to change. So this type of instant, things cannot be expected. Although the modern world is of instant coffee, instant tea, and instant whatever else, but the spiritual life is not instant. Hmm. But it is a steady process, and it will happen gradually. It's a gradual process. So that's why we have to fix our intelligence and determinations through hearing shastras. Hmm. That is required. Hmm. So intelligence should be sustained by full conviction. Hmm. So we have to, what a devotee has to go gather is essentially, where devotee has to essentially gather this conviction of his life, that yes, this process will work and I must follow this process. It is best for me. That conviction is required. Hmm. So, and then the focus is required also, that one should be fixed in that. And in this way, when we continue, then there will be step by step progress will happen. Hmm. So that's what Prabhupada is mentioning also. And then Prabhupada is also mentioning that, when one practices Krishna consciousness, one easily attains this samadhi, this samadhi platform, because he has all the characteristics of samadhi. So, and when person is in samadhi, then there is no danger of being engaged in material conception of life. And even though one is involved in matter, but still, one is not thinking about sense gratification. So modern man, his concept is that material life, if one is in material world, one should do sense gratification. And if one has to give up sense gratification, means one has to take sannyas, or one has to go to Himalayas and everything. So one reporter, she came to Prabhupada in Australia, Melbourne, and she was saying, you are saying that you are people of God. How come you are staying in a big temple? How come you are using modern gadgets? How come you are dealing with money? How come you are dealing with some construction and this and that? So Prabhupada, her concept is that if you are a person of God means you should renounce everything and go to forest. But that's not the way. So here Prabhupada is saying that even if one is involved with matter, as long as material body exists, one should not think about sense gratification. So we have to know that these two are different things. Being with matter doesn't necessarily involve that one is sense gratifier. Like that. It is not like that. Even if one is a living in the world, still one can do. That's what entire Karma Yoga chapter we discussed that only. That one should do one's work, but for the pleasure of the Lord, not desiring the fruits for oneself, but with a desire to please the Lord. So one doesn't have to take both the extreme steps, either go to Himalayas only, giving up everything, or be a sense gratified. This extremist approach is not at all good. So we should think about the pleasure of the Supreme Lord and try to perform our functions in that way. So that's the thing which is proper balance, and that's the thing which is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada in this purport. So in this way, when a devotee functions in this world by thinking about Krishna and working whatever way Krishna will be pleased, that itself is also samadhi. Hmm. And that samadhi which is attained by Ashtanga Yogi after long and difficult, rigid practice, that is attained by the devotee more easily, because it is more practical. So that's what Prabhupada is telling. Okay, so I think we can stop here. The next verse is one of the most important verses for devotee. So we'll discuss about it tomorrow.
Okay.
26th verse. Okay. So it's a very important verse for devotees, especially. Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
जैसे जैसे आप उसमें करोगे वैसे वैसे